Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Chris. So, I'm here in Maryland and I'm spending a lot of time outdoors taking a look around. I've been here quite a few times, but it always strikes me because the situation is always different in the country every time I visit. So, it's good to kind of look around and see, how things are here versus how they are back home. And especially because a lot of the channels that I watch are like financial channels or pundits on this or that, housing, finance, investing, different things. um, but it's very funny to me when I come over here that for me a lot of these housing areas over here on the East Coast, when I see like the way that people live over here, like this area for example is like a, I wouldn't say newer development. These houses were probably built in the 70s, 80s. Some of them, maybe some in the 90s. But when I look at these houses, they very much encompass like what you would think of as like the American dream. The two-car garage, the 3 bedrooms, probably most of them. They have a basement, 2-story, have a little yard. And it's just, the kind of place where everybody knows everybody. Um, and so like I think about it and I'm like, this is what, a lot of people spend their whole lives striving for. But the other part that occurs to me is that, you know, for this area, this is pretty much just the normal people. These aren't like millionaires or multimillionaires. They're just normal people who go to work every day, have their family, take the kids to soccer, that kind of thing. And that's very interesting because, for example, to give perspective, back home, living in any type of house like this, if it's within, 50 miles of LA, it's going to cost you probably $1 to $2 million, probably closer to $2 million, especially if it has any type of a yard. And if it's in an area, a nice area, that just adds to the tally. And so like for the same quality of life, you just don't get anything close to as much. In LA, the back of the house would be burned down and still people would be lining up to pay $1 million for it. So it's pretty crazy. But I think also like that whole thing affects a lot of people in the way that they see things, because there is a cost to everything. I mean, let's be realistic. If you live on the East Coast, the weather's different. You guys have actual seasons here. We don't. We have one season where when it rains, people don't even know how to drive because it happens so rarely. But here, you guys got to deal with the snow. You guys got to deal with what they're dealing with now, which is pretty hot. But I guess like once you're used to it, it's not that big a deal. But so many people, where I come from, would kill to live in these type of houses. And here, these things probably cost, from what I understand, in the 300,000 to 400,000 for a 3-bedroom house, 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, garage, basement, little yard. And the area is pretty convenient. I mean, this isn't close to, the metropolitan area. But if you know anything about Baltimore, you don't want to be by Baltimore. But if it was in Bethesda or things like that, yeah, it'd be really expensive. But for a similar dwelling, I mean, these kind of houses, like in Bethesda, the houses look just like this. So I guess it really does depend on what you're looking for. But to be able to live like this kind of life, like I said, like when I think about it, you lose track so often of like what your definition of like the American dream is, right? Because you think that at a certain point, like you've gained so much traction that you're not that you're living paycheck to paycheck, but that you're not treading your wheel, spinning your wheels. And so, for a lot of these people, like I said, like this isn't like a quote unquote wealthy area. It's the normal working class place, but they live in a nice place. There's nice parks nearby. There's little shopping centers. It's kind of like what a lot of people would idealize as like the prototypical all-American experience. And I'm sure like like I said, like for as someone who just traveled through all those different states looking, I've been to most of them, like either driven through or traveled through, like for different reasons. But seeing them on the train, like in passing, was actually pretty cool too, because again, it just really brought home that there's just so much more that connects us than divides us, no matter, you know, all the little petty things that we like to squabble about. But I think too about, like, you can tell that like certain areas are struggling, you know, again, seeing like the old factories that are still around, the brick buildings or smokestacks or different things that, you know, these are just things that are in people's backyard that they see every day, that, you know, we're from a different era, completely different era. People worked there, people spent their whole lives working there, and now they're just relics, just kind of there. It's pretty interesting, and like, again, all of these little things like bring it home, like how lucky we are to live where we live, to be a part of what we're a part of. Not that it's perfect, not that it'll ever be perfect. I don't think I mean, there's no place that's perfect on earth. Although some of the islands in Hawaii, an argument could be made, but just kidding. But these places are, again, like the kind of place that you would want to come home to, you know, the kind of place that you would feel safe raising your family and taking care of things. And even this idealistic view that I have right now from the outside, we have no idea what these people go through on a daily basis, or what they're going through right now, what their struggles are. I mean, you walk through and it just looks very nice, right? But I just thought it's interesting. Like I said, like I always like to take measure of these kind of things, because we have no idea what other people, what their struggles are. We only see the facade. Just like right now, every house that you look at, the yard's pretty kept. They have nice gardening. The houses themselves look nice, especially considering the weather conditions, and I'm sure it gets pretty cold here, lots of snow. But it's all pretty interesting, and it really, like I said, really makes me appreciate my brothers and sisters from different states, how they live, and makes me proud to know that at the end of the day, like, again, more connects us than separates us, regardless of where we're from. As much as we love to trash talk each other, whether it's on our politics, our states, teams, our religions, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, we all just want this experience, right? We just want to come home and have someplace safe and nice to go to. Anyway, I hope I can make myself get out to somewhere where they have some precious metals, because I haven't been able to get a hold of any on this trip, and it's becoming harder and harder. But at least I'm enjoying every minute while I'm here. All right, I just wanted to share with you this nice little piece of Americana here. Have a good one. See you later.